So I just saw this interview going on with comicbook.com, and they were interviewing some actors and actresses from the Thunderbolts movie. As we know, the Thunderbolts coming out on May 2nd, and they're doing the press tour, they're doing the red carpets, interviews, everything. So we're gonna be getting some information from it, some of the behind the scenes look, trailers, everything to kind of hype us up for it, which is working because the movie does look actually insane. But they asked in the comic book interview, they asked both the actor and actresses who play both Sentry and Ghost, and spoiler alert, I guess, for the movie, but if you don't want to be spoiled for this, click off. But they asked these two people about an early death happening in the movie, and he said it's a surprising death, and then the actress playing Ghost is like a little, she don't want to say anything wrong, which is normal. You don't want to mess this up because Marvel is watching all the time. But, he says, the interviewer brings it up, says, there's a surprising early death, and she's a little taken back about it. Like, oh, we're just going into that. Okay. Like, and, I don't, at this point of seeing this interview, at this point of making this video, I never thought it was like a known fact. I thought it was maybe more of a theory that this was happening. But, there's one character that obviously lacks a lot in the trailer. This is pretty obvious, I would have to say, right? That Taskmaster is the one that's going to die early on in the movie, just based off the trailer footage, that Taskmaster's not really in a lot of shots in the trailers. All the trailers we've seen her a significant less amount of time than all the other Thunderbolts. So, we were theorizing here on the channel, people were theorizing on Twitter, Instagram, the internet, everywhere. Taskmaster is going to die. Maybe she gets, I don't know, imprisoned or something. But, just seems off this interview that, yeah, that's happening. And, the actress then goes on to say, like, yeah, that happens. So I think the actress's name is Hannah, but it's okay. Like, we're just going into this. Yeah, this is happening. Also makes me believe a little bit. Maybe it's not so obvious. It's like when something's so obvious, it almost can't be that obvious, and it has to be something else. It obviously, with all the scenes we've seen, from the Bucky shooting the car scene, and them beating Val, going up the elevator, and then a point Taskmaster was in it, and then edited out and edited in. It was so many different things, and then different fights on the street, Bucky hitting the car and everything. Taskmaster is obviously lacking in this trailer, so it pretty much to us is obvious that Taskmaster is the one that's going to be killed. Probably going to get killed by Sentry, probably within the first 45 to an hour, I would say, right? Because she is in the beginning when they all kind of meet each other in the old Avengers Tower, I believe. And, after that, she's pretty lackluster in the trailer. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. I think it's safe to say Taskmaster dies, but again, could this just be some clever Marvel marketing where they've shot other things or edited in characters or something, and maybe even Ghost dies at some point, and it's they've tricked us? I don't know. Maybe that's why the actress Hannah was so shocked to see this, because she's the one who dies. But I don't know. You let me know what you think of this down below. Let me know if you're excited for the Thunderbolts. I sure as hell am.